Prime Minister Orban sat down with Tucker, and this is I love Tucker, but I feel such envy because I was just over there for a few days, and I want to sit down with Viktor Orban. Maybe next time I go to Hungary, I will be able to do that. But at the very least, we got this excellent interview from Tucker, highly recommended, must watch, in which Orban discusses not just the divide between the East and the West, or China and the West, but a big divide within the West.
It's more about our civilization. I mean, the Western Christian civilization. Now, the main division line is not according to ideologies. It's deeper. It has an anthropological character. So on one side, in Europe and probably in your country, but in Europe definitely, there are groups of people who think that the most important thing of the world is their ego, themselves, me. This is the center of the world. The other camp of the people, the other part of the society thinks that it's not true, because there are certain things which are more important than me, than my ego. Family, nation, God. And because they are more important than me, I have to serve these higher level things. So this society has a majority here in Hungary. And the other society, which is concentrating only me, only dealing with myself, it's more westernized, dominating factor of the political life.
So insightful. One thing I really admire about Orban is he's a seriously intelligent, educated person who takes knowledge and learning and wisdom very seriously. And I know that seems really basic. You would hope that all your statesmen would do that, but they don't. They patently don't. And the other thing I like is he's not just some completely disconnected intellectual in an ivory tower somewhere. He's a statesman. He's a guy in the rough and tumble of politics. But he takes these broad historical and philosophical questions very seriously. And he can simplify it. This is one of the signs that somebody knows what he's talking about, is when he can take a complex matter like this anthropological divide within Western civilization and distill it down in really simple terms. Here's the divide. People who think that I, me, my is the most important thing on earth, and people who think that there are more important things than me. Simple enough, and it's so true. I think even if you caught the Western liberals and liberal-leaning so-called conservatives, if you caught them in a moment of candor, maybe you got them after a couple of drinks, they would admit this. They would be proud of this. They would say, yes, of course, I exist to fulfill myself. I'm interested not in caring for my family and community and country. I'm interested in self-love. I need self-care, It's just, I'm gonna take care of me now. Kim Kardashian said this after her divorce. She said, in my 40s, I'm gonna take care of myself. As though she was Mother Teresa before that, but now she's gonna take care of herself. And it's not just the left, it's the right. It's the right under the influence of people like Ayn Rand, the right under the influence of a hyper-individualism, the right under the influence of libertarianism, which says, yeah, me, I, me, my, greed is good. I'm just going to pursue my own interests. You leave me alone. You can't tell me what to do. I'm entitled to do whatever I want. That's my freedom. That's my liberty. That's not the classical Western understanding of liberty. That's not the Christian understanding of liberty, but it is the modern liberal conception. It's exactly what Prime Minister Orban is talking about. And he says, look, that's a view. He's obviously criticizing it, but he's more just describing it. He's saying that is the dominant view in the West. But we have a different view. Right now, go to metashare.com/Michael. As a Daily Wire listener, you are not just informed, you're engaged, and you value freedom and personal responsibility. That's why we think you will like Metashare. Metashare is a community-based approach to healthcare that lines up with the principles you believe in. Your values matter, and with Metashare, your healthcare dollars won't be used for medical procedures that don't line up with your beliefs. Metashare is the highest-rated healthcare sharing ministry with a 30-year proven track record. It's not health insurance. It's a community of 400,000 believers committed to caring and sharing with one another. Members save up to 50% or more on their monthly healthcare costs. For a limited time, Daily Wire listeners will receive a $150 gift card when you join Metashare. To find out more, go to metashare.com/Michael, M-I-C-H-A-E-L. That is metashare.com/Michael. Terms and conditions apply, so head on over there right now. Go to metashare.com/Michael and get a $150 gift card. We have a different view, which is much as I want to pursue my own individual interests, much as I like myself, much as I have certain desires, I recognize some things are more important, namely family, country, and God. Family is the basic political community. Man, going back, this is a big distinction between liberalism, classical, modern, and otherwise, and the classical Christian tradition. Liberalism says the basic unit of society is the individual. Christianity and Aristotle and classical understandings of politics say that the basic unit of society is the family. And it's the family because politics is public, so it involves other people. It says that man is a political creature, the social animal. Okay? Big difference. So Orban says, starts with the family and then goes to love of country and the importance of nation, right? Because that's an extension of the family. It's an extension of the kinsfolk and the tribe, and your patriotism is an extension of filial piety. And ultimately, what this is ordered toward is God, because some things are good and true and beautiful, and we should want to seek for those, and some things are destructive and ugly and false and not conducive to our flourishing, and we should avoid those. And the name for truth himself is God, is Jesus. And the name for the highest good, the summum bonum, to use an older Latin phrase, is God. So that's what we're going to orient all of our political efforts toward. Really basic stuff. And Orban, I really like, he's so clear-eyed about this. He's really humble about it because he'll say, look, we're a country of 10 million people. We're not going to lead anything. We're not going to be the dominant hegemonic power ever. We're landlocked. Are you kidding me? But because of the unique circumstances of Hungary, it's got this weird language that nobody speaks. It's a pretty coherent people. The country's 1,100 years old. We've been able to preserve this thing, and maybe we could look and learn some lessons, because there's one statistic that shows you how these ideas are playing out in society. Every single country in the West is literally dying, not having enough people to replace themselves, and the birth rates generally continue to plummet. One country has started to turn the birth rate problem around. Coincidentally, it's the one that says Imai is not the top priority. Family, country, and God is. Pretty simple stuff. I'm not saying it's easy to implement, but it's pretty simple. Man, what a great clip that was. Now make sure that you ring that bell, subscribe to the Michael Knowles YouTube channel. We'll see you next time.